Welcome, folks. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining the Australia Safe online meetup, or words in an order similar to that. This is the 4th edition of our Safe Tooling Special Interest Group. This month we have Rohini talking to us about Monday. I know you call it Monday.com, just Monday Dev. I don't know. All those things seem to appear when I research Monday, and Rohini's going to tell us about all of them. I'm going to let Rohini share with us a little bit about her product, and she's going to sit with us after she's done her presentation and take your questions. Feel free to put questions in the chat as we go, and we can read them back in at the end. You can also, at the end, ask a direct question of Rohini yourself. I think that is everything for now. So on that note, Rohini, we are all yours.
Amazing. Thank you, Em, and lovely to meet and see you all. Can someone give me a thumbs up? You can hear me all right?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, awesome. Great. So I'm Rohini, and first of all, I hope you're staying cool. I know James definitely is. There's a lot of snow in the background, but gosh, that's a sentence that I didn't think I would say in August, which is, I hope you're keeping cool. But that talks to the change that we are all experiencing in real life. And talking of change, so happy to be with probably the most prominent change makers in Australia and New Zealand this afternoon. Again, thank you for your time. And keeping with the theme of today, which is around change, you mentioned that you Monday Dev, Monday, what does I do? Task management, work management. So today I'm going to really take you into the magical world of Monday and help you uncover exactly what it means. So rest sort of like what we are 12:09. I'll probably cover the topic in about 30 to 40 minutes. I want to spend some time making sure that I can answer some of your questions and hopefully create enough curiosity in terms of the work that you're doing and correlating that to how Monday as a platform can help you achieve that, and your teams achieve that, your organizations achieve that. Quickly introducing myself, I'm Rohini Sharma. I head go-to-market for Monday products here in APAC. I've been with Monday for close to 2.5 years now. Prior to joining Monday, I was with TPG Telecom as head of business transformation there. And then before that, I did a really long stint at Woolworths. But my background is product and tech. So that's where I've lived majority of my professional career. Through that, I've also gotten a chance to work with the likes of Martin Fowler, who was a colleague of mine back in the days, with Jeff Smith, Jeff Patton, like really people that you have who have created great thought leadership in terms of how software should be developed, how products should be developed as well. So I can correlate to the work that you do quite strongly. I understand the challenges with the change that you're trying to make. And hopefully I can bring some of that experience to today's conversation with you all as well. So rest assured, this is not a sales pitch. I don't have an SE. There's an actual person who is an ex-practitioner. I also did an SPC course with Pretty Agile. I'm smiling. And you will hear very much from somebody who sees it with a very practical lens. Okay, so before we jump in, so what today is going to look like, I'm going to give you a glimpse of Monday, just in terms of who we are as a company. I still believe a lot of people don't really understand who we are. Em highlighted that factor where it's like who you are, platform, product, what. So we'll just do a quick deep dive into who we are as Monday, and then we're going to jump into the product. That's where we're going to spend majority of our time. and then we'll take Q&As from that point on. Sounds good? Nice. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now the problem is my notes have disappeared somehow. Let me just get my notes. Wait a minute. Sorry, guys. Yep, I have my notes here. Can you see my screen or can you see my notes?
Screen.
Yep,
See your
screen's
screen.
coming.
Yeah.
Screen's coming through clearly.
Phew, thank you. All right. Here's a quick agenda. As I said, a quick introduction to Monday. Then we're going to deep dive into planning, PI planning within one of the Monday's product build for Agilist and Agile teams. And then obviously we're going to deep dive into the demo as well. So let me set the tone of our conversation here. We at Monday believe that the way the traditional work software is broken. When we founded Monday in 2014, so that's where it first started off, we realized that when organizations are looking to work, the structure of the tooling that supports them is rigid. It's not architected for change. It requires a lot of customization, a lot of development, a lot of training to really give you the value that you want the software to do, and also give that value to you too quickly. So imagine even your scenario, you're going into an organization, on your current organization, where you're looking to implement SAFe, starting with your first art train. And you have probably few options in terms of the tooling that currently resides in the organization. How quickly you will be able to adapt and change to sort of how you're looking to implement the process, right? Every organization context is different. The space of the change that they are on is different. Their interdependencies are different as well, right? So you understand that it can be a very complex undertaking. And in majority of the cases, when you look at the tooling that supports that change, it would not be able to keep up with the pace that you want it to be. So what happens then in those scenarios? Business kind of have only two options that they're working with. They either go off and buy rigid off-the-shelf point solutions, right? Usually designed for small organizations that do not really scale. That as you grow and you're growing in an organization and changing and adapting, it will start to become obsolete. Or you go off and buy the best Rolls Royce that's available in the town, but it's basically huge implementation cost. It's maintenance that's required. You probably need to go hire administrators to be able to administer it. Implementation takes a long time, and it can be very, very costly, right? We've seen tools that we use and we understand like what's the total cost of ownership for each of these that are there. And what this does is it ultimately slows organizations down. So imagine if you're running BAU, it's already slowing you down. And on top of that, you add a layer of change. It could be transformation, it could be new ways of working. It could be new products or services that you're trying to build. All of that would probably add to the pain that that you already are going to experience and slow you down even further. And to basically overcome these challenges that we knew existed in modern organizations, that we knew most modern organizations needed to overcome, we founded Monday. And what you see here is basically Monday, which originally was developed as a platform. So now it's called Work OS platform. And I'll tell you why, we're calling it a platform. I'll share with you in our live demo, which will give you a bit more uh, flavor of, why this is a platform. It's also a product, it's also a platform. And on the top of that platform, we have 4 different products serving the needs of all organizations. At Monday, our mission is to be core of every work. And in order for us to do that, we're bringing different products to market. So we have Monday Work Management, which is our product for any kind of project management in business teams, technical teams, marketing teams, operations team. If they're looking to manage their work, they would choose Monday Work Management. Monday Dev is for Agilists, it's for product development teams, it's for software teams who are building and creating software and product. Monday Sales CRM is where you will manage your customer relationships. And then we have Monday Service, where you will be able to service your customers, your internal stakeholders, and manage their service requests. So these are our 4 product suites within the whole Monday ecosystem. And then obviously we have our horizontal products, which are Monday Work Canvas, which is a whiteboarding tool, and then also Monday Work Forms, which is our forms on steroids solution. In terms of who we are and what industries do we work with, we work across multiple industries. So about 200 industries use Monday across the globe. And then we are also a global organization. We're listed in NASDAQ. We have offices here in Australia, in Sydney, where I'm from, and then also in Melbourne. And we also have very prominent customers who we are able to help in terms of their workflows, creating efficiencies, creating collaboration within the organization. You will see some prominent regional brands here as well, the likes of Canva, Flight Centre, Kmart, even global brands like BMW, Nelson, Bella, Bear, Universal Music Group, all of those. So yes, we may feel new because of our marketing, like it's quite fresh, a lot of color, but we are a pretty solid organization when it comes to what we do, our products, and then also our global reach across the world. So what's the main use case or why do companies usually come to Monday? And the number one reason, in terms of if you're to peel it down, with the frustrations that they have with the current software and some of the wrong buying decisions that they have made by creating either bespoke tools or having like heavy, Rolls-Royce solutions, or falling back to just Excel, like everything is working off Excel, all of that. What they're looking to do with Monday when they onboard Monday is tech consolidation. So how can you build a lean and consolidated tech stack? That's the number one question we're helping organizations solve. So think something as like, important from a senior exec perspective, which is goal setting, OKRs, down to resource management, project management, down to the very level. So if you're a marketer and you want to manage your campaign, you can do that at Monday. If you're an IT operations person and you want to manage your IT ticketing, you can do that on Monday. So that really helps consolidate your, not just your tech stack, but also ensures that there is a consistent experience across your organization in terms of how they work, which basically means that you will be improving collaboration, you will be able to do things at speed, and ultimately it'll increase transparencies of, in terms of how everyone across your organization is working. Obviously, there is like, we say we are able to minimize your costs because, instead of using multiple tools, you're using one single platform. And with integrations and services that we offer, you are able to even consolidate it further. And the other thing which majority of our customers love, and this is something that you will find quite compelling, is how we are able to really create a single source of truth up in terms of not just how the work is managed, but also the data that flows within and the output of the work that's happening, the data associated with it. So it helps streamline your business. It creates better data transparency, and it ensures that you have good mechanics to make good business decisions. And it's not just like someone's what you call the loudest person in the room. You're able to back it up with real-time data. And also you're able to then make sure that any wrongdoings or risks that are associated with whatever work is happening, you're able to capture it early. Obviously, I cannot have a presentation without talking about AI. So we do have AI built within the platform. It's an in-context AI assistant that you will see across the platform that, and you're able to access that. So it could be as simple as giving you a head start with project ideas. I created a template I'll show you in the demo as well, related to SAFe, and it generated that template in a matter of seconds for me. Make your messages stand out, create compelling content, and also help you craft sentiments and formulas in terms of what you're trying to achieve quite easily. And best of it is in context of the work that you're doing. So we do have inbuilt AI, because that's something that a lot of people ask us. It's like, do you have AI? Yes, we do. Okay. So that was a very, grand overview of Monday. But let's be down to the session, and for people in the room who have turned up for the main topic, which is PI planning with Monday Dev. So now you understand when I talk Monday and Monday itself and Monday Dev, what does that mean? Monday is a platform, Monday Dev is the product that we'll be looking at. So we launched Monday Dev last year, and this is just some of the testaments from actual users who have been using Monday. This is from G2 Crowd. I'm hoping a lot of you are already familiar with it as well. But this is some of the reviews that we have seen come through. So why people love using Monday Dev? First and foremost, it's easy to get started with, right? That's important, because what it does is it increases your time to value. Sorry, it decreases your time to value. You don't want to increase your time to value. You want to decrease your time to value. So it decreases your time to value. So from the moment you take the product in your hands, you're able to, build your workflows very, very quickly and easily. As well, it's very easy to admin. Similarly, very easy to set up as well, right? That's where we really stand out. And people have said that we are a great partner to work with as well. So people who use Monday and partner with Monday team, they generally find us to be refreshingly better than the competitor. I'd like to believe that. So yeah, don't take my word for it. This is available online. It's a public forum with G2 Crowd. You can go there and you can look at the reviews yourself as well. Okay, okay. So now let's get into the demo. So the construct of today's demo is going to be 3 parts. So this is the big SAFe template, and you're very familiar with it as well. But basically, what I'm going to show you is like how you can really do all levels of work, whether it's like at the portfolio when you're managing your portfolio epics, running your LPM cadence, that to the art where you're doing your agile product delivery, managing, that's where the real PI planning happens. And then team where they're delivering it using Scrum or Kanban, which ties into your PI plan. So we're going to go through all the three levels in today's demo. Okay, so let me stop sharing and get you to my demo environment. Okay, can somebody tell me they can see it? I can't see you, so you might have to just say that you can see my demo environment.
We can see your demo environment.
Amazing, thank you so much. All right, so this is what you see is Monday Dev, and the way we differentiate between all our products is through our colors. If you go here, you'll see work management, CRM, Dev, service, work forms, and work canvas. The product you need to be on is the green one. And I say that because a lot of our customers make this mistake where they're like, oh, well, this is not working. I was like, are you on the green one or the blue one? So you need to be on the green one. And this is my workspace. Now, I'm going to just assume that not many of you are familiar with Monday. So before I jump to the actual PI planning part, I would probably just give you a flavor of everything that I was talking before in terms of, easy to get started with, very easy to use, very easy to build, all of that. And it correlates to the platform play that I was talking about. So think of Monday very much as a bunch of Lego bricks, right? And using those Lego bricks, like you can actually create something magical, something very similar to how you would do that. You do that with building Legos yourselves. And why I'm using a Lego analogy is also because Legos is used by kids. So it is something that you don't need to be an expert on. So once you get a hand of the product, it is very easy for you to build those workflows. The testament for that is that 78.5%, so close to 80% of Monday users would be deemed as low technical or non-technical. So that kind of talks to both like the review that people were talking about, that it's easy to use, easy to set up, but also the platform is built in such a way that it's very easy for you to start to configure it. So what are those Lego blocks? So first of all, what you see here is a Monday board. And this is an example of a portfolio board that you would be running at the portfolio level, where you will have your portfolio epics defined. But this could be anything else as well. And the way you build a board within Monday is to start adding different columns. So we have a different column set that's available, about 100 odds of them. So say, for example, I want to add a different status. So I will just add a status column. I will rename it. I can't type today. And I will start to edit the labels. So it comes built with done working on its stuff. But as you can see here, I have actually made it so that it's configured to the LPM process. So I can easily edit the label. I can define the color. It's very visual that way. And I can add what label I want to insert here. And that's pretty much how you will start to build your boards within Monday. So think of all the attributes that you need In this context, it's your portfolio level, the lean portfolio cadence that you're running. What are the attributes that you need? And you will start to add these as columns over there. So that's the first part of our Lego brick. The other part of our Lego brick is automations. So we have automations, and it comes with a number of automations which are built in, but that's where you start to power the platform. So as you can see here, something as simple as when a date arrives, notify someone. So this could be an example where I use, say, for example, my end of sprint has arrived and I need to close my user stories. So I need to sort of ping my team. So in a typical way, what you would do is you will write a Slack message or you will ping them on Teams. But over here, you can do that directly. They will get a ping, they will get a notification directly on Monday. They'll click on it and they will go and update the user stories from there itself. So that's just one very, very simple use case of building automations, but we have like hundreds and hundreds of automations which are available within Monday, and you can build your own automations. So I can build my own custom automation, and it's something as simple as when this happens, then do this. And then I can start to say, okay, when an item is created, then notify someone, right? So if a new story is added in between my sprint, I want to be notified. Or a new epic comes to the portfolio backlog, I want to be notified, something like that. So yes, that's a simple way for us to run automations. So that's the other building block. The other key building block for Monday is our Monday integrations. So we have about 50 plus integrations which are available. Most common integrations are Gmail, Outlook, Teams, Slack, Salesforce. We work with like the CRM system and the likes of other communication tools as well. But say, for example, we use the Teams integration. So this is Microsoft Teams integration. I go and integrate it with Teams, and then I can start to automate my processes. So something like, as simple as notify somebody on the channel. So it keeps up with the same, like keeping up with the sort of same theme of notification. Instead of notifying you on a Monday board, it'll notify you on the team channel. So you'll get that notification and click on it, and it'll come to the Monday board for you to either review or to provide an update. So something like that. So that's another way where we're like really bringing all these disparate, disconnected tools into one homogeneous form, all connected by Monday. Yeah, that's the other one. The other building block for Monday is Monday dashboard. So this is where our reporting really comes to life. The data element that I was talking about, which creates better accountability and transparency across the organization, is through Monday dashboards. Monday dashboards is what you will call reporting within Monday. And the way you do that is something very simple. Here I have 4 boards which are connected. Boards are basically your data sources. You connect this board, you select those data sources, and then I start to add widget. So I can add, we have, again, number of widgets which are available. So you just add the widget. So it would have added a widget over here. And I can name it. I can then quickly edit it. So say, okay, what is the data source that I really want? Do I want all 4, or I only want few of them? I do that, and then I can start to filter it as well. So I filter it on certain conditions. And yeah, and that will start to prepare my reporting. Everything is interactable as well. So you can dig into the data and you really know if it's stuck, what is stuck. So yeah, that's the building block, or AKA Lego bricks of Monday, and that's what the platform really provides, um, in a very simplistic sense, and that's inherited by all of our products. Okay, so now coming to the PI planning aspect. So let me take you through how you would conduct PI planning within Monday Dev. So what you see here is my workspace, and you have, as I mentioned, you're running your portfolio cadence. So you have your portfolio board. Then you go into your art where you're managing your PI and the program, and then goes down to the teams where they're probably looking at Scrum or Kanban, in terms of actual delivery. In this scenario, I only have one art and two Scrum teams that I'll be referencing during the demo. But again, this can be replicated to any number of arts. It's not limited to. And the way you would do that is by creating different workspaces. So you'll just use this and you would duplicate different workspaces. So these, the one which I'm going to show you, they'll all become different workspaces for different arts, to manage their work. So let's start with that. So what you have here is a portfolio board where I'm managing my portfolio epics. As you can see, there are 3 epics sitting here. I can define the business objective. I have a status assigned to it as well, a high-level plan timeline. It is being ranked by WishChip. So I've given my business value, time criticality, risk reduction, and the total job size. So I have that, and that's automatically calculating me the WishChip score, and it's ranking. So when I look at it, I know that portfolio epic is the first priority that I should be picking up as well. Then what are the different features that are associated with this particular epic and what the status of those features is? So it's not just giving you information which is from a top level, but it's also rolling up information from the lower levels and showing you here as well. So it shows you that there's one feature that's done, these ones are being implemented, there's one which is stuck as well. Then if you are trying to elaborate on your portfolio epic, you can have these templates. So this is the template that I created with Monday AI Assistant. I just said, can you give me a portfolio epic template? And it created this template for me. Now you can choose to use all of it, or you can modify it based on what your requirements are. And this will start to document your, what's really happening with your portfolio epic. It's called a Monday doc, and it can be standardized in terms of being used at, like, if you're looking to use that for an epics, then everyone can have access to this template, and that creates like a baseline for everyone to be working on as well. Then with that, we have different views which are available. So this is a really good LPM view. So you see, I have 2 portfolio epics which are currently sitting in implementing. One is ready and the rest are in backlog. So say if you're running your LPM meeting, you actually jump onto the Kanban and you start to interact with that. If something is stuck, that you pick up first, and you talk about it in your stand-ups, in your sync meetings, and the rest is obviously giving you a status as well. Now let's jump to the actual PI planning. So when you're looking to do a PI planning, the first thing we need to do is obviously have a defined view of the program increment. So starting with the PI planning, what you're going to do is, like, first of all, create a PI planning schedule. So this is my day one schedule that I have created here. Couldn't get to day two, but the 2 day schedule is created, who's leading the person, what sessions they are, what dates they are. So once you've created this schedule through the integrations, you can basically send out emails directly within Monday. So you don't need to go and type invites out separately. It can be triggered here directly from Monday. And then when you are looking at the calendar view, sorry, my dates are a bit mixed up, but it gives you a calendar view. You can add from the calendar view itself as well if you choose to, or if you choose to do, you can do it from here. This calendar view is a shareable view, so you can share it with the participants who are coming into the PI planning to give you what are the different sessions, who's going to be leading it, and again, it's interactive. You click on it and they can provide an update. Yeah, just as an example. Okay, so that helps you create a good planning schedule. And then you actually get to the PI planning. So PI planning in Monday can be done in 2 ways. So one is this PI planning board. So as I said, in my example, there are 2 Scrum teams, Scrum Team 1, Scrum Team 2. And these are all the user stories that they are going to be working on, the status of those user stories. I can start to put my estimations of the user story. So this is like the team coming together, working on it as well. And then it can be directly associated with a feature. You can also mark dependencies here directly as well. So it can tell you for this particular user story is aligned to this feature. This is the this is the dependency on the other team that I have. So that's one way of doing it. It's more linear, and it may be something which you either will do with a very small cohort of team, or you would do with teams which are highly mature. Where I have seen where Monday sort of starts to really help take shape for PI planning is through our work canvas. So this is the Monday planning board. We actually have a quite comprehensive template. So this is a template that's available. If I just go and add this template, it would be like you can have this readily available. So you can start to even do your PI planning directly from here as well. But what is really great about this with Work Canvas is that we have a Monday integration. So what you can do is that teams can do is actually import. So I can import if I were to look at, if I have existing user stories, actually, let's not do user stories. Let's just do the features. So I'll bring in on my program increment board. And if I have like different features that I want to bring in, I can simply drag and drop them here. And that way your data is not duplicated and it's real time. So I can then add and update statuses here directly, and it's updated here as well. So you can do that with a feature, and then you can also bring other boards if you like. So say in this, I was giving you the other example where you can bring in your team boards as well. So where you probably will have your user stories and you can map it out here and start to break it down from here itself. So that's pretty cool. And this canvas provides you with great flexibility to run your PI planning here as well. Things like, risks that are there, where they're sitting at, all of that can also be added. So if I were to add another board, let's add a risk board here. I can select, and I can drag and drop again the risk where they are at, and then I can then start to plan around it. So once you have done this planning, where does the data live? So you can push, as I said, with these updates, you can push the data directly to the program increment board. And this is where this is sort of where the data would live. So this is a program increment board. What I see here is my current active PI, which is current PI. And then I have like next PI and the program backlog. So everything else would sit in the program backlog. So different features that we are building in the current PI, who's a product manager for it, who's a tech lead for it, the status for that particular feature, which again can either be manually updated if you're running it on a Kanban, or it can be automated to be updated when all the user stories associated with that feature is done, then it'll mark it to done as well. Your Visual scores, as you can again see, it's stacked rank. So the top feature with highest Visual score is their number one. Provide descriptions, and then you can add the user stories, or you can choose to, you can add it there, or you can choose to break it down from here itself as well. Sorry, my user story by team is not working because I don't have a user story associated with it. Let me first quickly show you this. So these are the user stories. If I go here and I open up my feature one, you can see I have a feature description. So again, this is a template that you can use. So it again helps you standardize. So what's the feature name? What's the hypothesis? What's the acceptance criteria? Information about the feature, which portfolio epic is this associated with? Are there any risks associated with this feature that that are there? So you can either you look at existing one, or you can create new ones from here as well. So if you want to create, I can add a risk here directly. Okay. I can do that. And then you can start to see the split. So what are the user stories, which team is doing, and what the status of it is. And I can click to see what's happening here. And if I want, so I know that this team is working, there are two user stories. If I want to say, for example, I'm the product manager for this particular feature, then I can start to break it down here itself with my tech lead. And then add it to the teams board, and then also add it to the sprints here as well. Similar to the portfolio one, we have Kanban view available here as well. So you can toggle between both. As you can see, it's marked by status. You can choose, you can customize your Kanban card. So this is what my simple drag and drop. If I like to, like if I want to see the associated risk, I can see that risk highlighted over here. And also, if I want, I can start to divide it by as well. So I can divide it to say, in this case, it would be I've chosen group. I can also divide it by the portfolio epic. So you can see by epic, the status of the feature. So you may have multiple features associated with that epic, and where they are at. So I can do all of that customization. As you can see, it's very, very easy to do that. Yeah. Okay. So this is where we have looked at where the program increment will live. What you can also do here is, if you like, you can add the dependencies directly, or you can have a separate board just to manage program dependencies. So what I would do in that case is that if there's a dependencies, I would add here. So these are active program dependencies that you're managing. And then when you're running your Scrum of Scrums, you use this board to basically understand the timeline, understand sort of like whether it's at risk or not, and then update the statuses accordingly as well. And then also have a view of which sprint it's currently sitting in as well. So that's one way, the sort of like another way to do that. Similarly, post the PI planning, you want to be able to also manage your risk. And again, as you're conducting your Scrum of Scrums, this is where you would manage your risk. All the risks that we have identified and added here will be pushed into this board. And then who's owning it, the status for it as well, what's the different risk type that's there. And then what I can do is I can even change this. So instead of seeing it by my PI, I can group it in such a way that I can only look at, okay, these risks are mitigated, so we don't need to worry about, these are accepted, these ones are resolved, these are owned, these are the new risks which are there. So that there. And you can also, as I said, link these risks directly to the program increment board. So then I can say item 3 is a risk that's related to this feature, and it'll update that. So I've done that, and you can see it would have updated it here as well. So it's added that first item here. Oh, sorry, +1. So that's a new risk over here. Okay, so what have I missed? We've done that. Okay, now the next part, which is the most interesting part, is like you've done your PI planning, you have all these beautiful boards where the data, which probably earlier used to sit in Post-its, an Excel sheet, or in a whiteboard somewhere, physical whiteboard, it's all been collated and moved into Monday. So, you're ready to go. And now the teams need to start the sprint. Now, I don't need to tell you, but as you know, in SAFe, even though there are multiple teams are working across the feature, the sprints that they do, they are synchronized sprints. So this is where I would be defining the sprints for the team, and each of these sprints would then be associated by the team. So that will ensure that the teams are starting. All the teams are starting on the same date and ending on the same date as well. So I would do that, and then I would start to mark this as whether it's an active sprint or not. So this is, again, is a one-time setup. So once you do that, it'll automatically flow into the teams board, and it'll create these sprints. It'll add the dates for it. And they can go from there. Yeah. So that again is very effective to make sure that even though the teams are running their own cadences, it's all synchronized, and you have that visibility around what are the different sprints and the date for it as well. Now let's go to the crux of the delivery. Now, I'm going to move away from the other one and show you, this is more like I have more data here. So I want to show you here, it's an example of where a team is doing product development. So, but it could be SAFe. So think of the upper level is everything that we're doing at SAFe. But then when it comes to team delivery, you're managing it through Scrum. So you come to this sprint board. So this is a Monday sprint board. I would have, if I'm a team member, because I will have predefined sprints, all these sprints would be listed here, and the date for it would all be here as well. And then through that central board, you can kick off sprints at one go itself. So you don't need to do it individually for all of your team. So if I'm a team member, I'm coming here, I would go into my daily stand-up. I will start to understand, okay, what's my progress? 69.2% of my current sprint is done. So some things are waiting for review. Once pending deploy, I can click on it. Like I said, this particular user story needs to be deployed. How much is planned, how much is unplanned, what's being done, and then all other tasks that are currently sitting in the sprint. So that's what I would use every single day coming into my daily stand-up. Some teams prefer Kanban. So again, we have the same Kanban view available here that you can change. When you have it in a sprint task board, it will even tell you which sprint it belongs to. And I can just say that, currently it's set to my active sprint, which is sprint 5. So it'll show only that. Otherwise, it'll show me, you can toggle between different sprints there as well. If you're looking to do sprint planning, then again, you will see this kind of data quite easily built into your user story and task board. So what were the planned story points for the upcoming sprint? What's the task breakdown? Currently, majority of my work is related to features, but there's some security work that I need to do as well. Breakdown by priority. I can also look at my velocity, what my current velocity, and that will build over time. My measurement of planned and unplanned work, my distribution of capacity across my team, and then what are the different upcoming tasks associated with this particular sprint. So this is sort of start to use it for sprint planning. If you're working in your active sprint, you go to the active sprint task, you look at your sprints, different tasks and user stories that are there, owners for it. If you want, you can also look at the burn down. So we have a very, let me just refresh. So it gives you a beautiful burn down. So this is my burn down. But what you can do in our burn down as well, if I were to just toggle it off, I can do a breakdown. So it's a breakdown, and it's doing a breakdown by priority. So you can choose how do you want to see the breakdown. So again, it's very flexible, and you can deep dive into the data, and it'll give you a bit of a timestamp of what happens. If if there was a big spike here, what happened, it'll go to this, there was a new task which was added that increased my capacity. Sorry, it increased my total points to be delivered. So you can look at some of that. So it gives you not just the burn down, it tells you what exactly happened during those specific moments. So it's a pretty cool way to drill down. Like if you are a agile nerd, I'm sure majority of you are in the crowd, that you would be looking at something like that quite often in that case. So that's the sprint management functionality that's available. So that's what your team's going to be using on a daily basis beyond just PI planning. And then post that, you will have, you can do retrospectives. So we have retrospective dashboards, retrospective boards, which are available. So you can capture your retrospectives as well. Now, one thing which I realized I have not, let me look at the retrospectives here. Yeah, so you have retrospectives, you can teams and add it, and you can even add this to say if you want to assign that to a sprint or a feature, you can add that through by just adding another column and assigning the sprint to it as well. If you want, say, an action to be taken, you can have that and add it into the sprint backlog from here itself. You can add that here. Now let's go to the other really cool stuff, which is your program dashboard. So this is a program dashboard that your leaders would be looking at, art leaders would be looking at quite regularly. You can use it for your Scrum of Scrums as well. So it gives you an outline of, okay, what's the PI objectives, the count of them, the features, and how many features are currently completed. I think I've marked all of them completed. But then you can start to discuss like what's my progress across my PI objectives, how I'm tracking on that, the status by PI objective as well. I can also look at cycle time, so the time it takes for us to start the feature, and then when it's done. So currently it's 33, which is not great. It means that I'm taking more than a month to develop a feature and take it live. So I can show that as well. And this you can measure. Currently in this one, I've had it only as an average, but you can measure it feature by feature. So you can see like, are you improving over a period of time or not? My risk path status, and then obviously my escalated risk. And if you would like, now that I'm thinking of it, you can even add dependencies here as well. So it becomes like one really great, like, information radiator for everyone in the organ, who's part of your art, to look at, to understand where they are, how they are tracking, what some of the risks are as well, and what's required to be done. So it gives you a really good view, and it's all real-time data. All real-time data. It's interactable. You can exactly look at what's going on here as well. Similarly, we also have like, I know SAFE has provided some guidance around OKRs, so we can build OKRs within here as well. So you have your objective key results defined, and then you can see them in a dashboard as well. I probably have an example of it somewhere. How are we doing with time? Are we over?
We are over.
Oh,
it's okay. We might have to leave OKRs for another
yes.
day.
I'm so sorry. So sorry.
That's okay. We're right on the knocker. Just a couple of minutes. Just a couple of minutes over.
Should have interrupted me. I got a bit carried away. I want to show you everything.
It's all good. Lots of thank yous in the chat. A few people had to drop. If you do you have a couple of minutes for a couple of questions?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yes.
So one is, does Monday help with value stream mapping?
Monday help with value stream mapping. There's no magical way for you to do value stream mapping. Like, value stream mapping is different for every organization. What we can help you with is the templatizing it. So if you're looking, so basically you would be looking at doing some kind of a discovery. It's like, what are the different products that the team are, how you're defining products, what the teams are building, what the product teams are building, etc. So what does that process look like? That you can define in Monday, but actually coming up with your value streams, that's the brain power of your teams. It's not, no tool can solve that. Yeah.
No magic there. Fair enough.
No magic there. Yeah.
How does Monday compare with other tools, Azure DevOps, Jira? So essentially, how do you position this against other things in the market?
So we, as a product, we can replace both ADO, we can replace Jira. We can do that. But we are very conscious of change within the organization, and asking teams to move from one tool to the other is a big change exercise. So we actually have an approach to soften the blow, which is through our integration. So we have two-way integration, both with ADO and with Jira, which will mean that if there are, like, you're going to take this as a migration exercise where your PI planning, your program level, your portfolio level starts to be built up within Monday, because there's no other way to do that. And the Scrum part, where the teams are actually doing user stories and developing, that can remain in Jira and ADO over a period of time. You move that data across, and then everyone's coming into Monday. Why Monday is different to other tools is because, especially aligned to sort of the work that you all are doing in SAFE, is you're bringing whole of the organization into this construct, which means it's both technical and non-technical teams. coming together. And if you're thinking about that perspective, then your current tool set's not going to work because it's made for technical teams, and it doesn't really provide you with insights and reporting that are important for you to understand and continually adapt and change. So I would suggest that you seriously look into something like Monday and then use the integration as a change exercise.
And last one, I don't. I'm trying to recall now. Did you show us flow metrics as you were going through that? And
I
I guess
do,
the
yeah.
quest.
So I showed you the average cycle time. So as I said, you can
did.
do it at an average level, but then you can also measure it across every single feature to
Mhm.
understand the trend. We can also do lead and lag time. We don't have time. I have another dashboard that I could show you. But yes, all the flow metrics can be done and measured for.
Awesome. Last call for questions, folks. Still online. Nailed it.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Rohini. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you
us.
so
Thank you for
much.
those who came along. And yeah, hopefully feel free to reach out when you have a product update if you'd like to come back and share that with the group. I'm sure people would love to see it. So stay in
I'd
touch.
love to. Yes, I hope everyone got the value out of this afternoon session. Hopefully, I've excited everyone enough to say there's something more out there that I didn't know about. And yeah, would look forward to sort of chatting with you if you need to understand more about Monday. As an offer to everyone, we are giving 2 weeks trial for free, so you can jump onto the website and try the product yourself. It's available for 2 weeks. If you want me to, extend it, happy to do that for the community. So yes, in order for you to reach out to me, my email is rohini@monday.com. So quite simple. But thank you.
Easy. I'll include that in our follow-up email to folks as well, Rohini.
Thank you. Bye.
Right, have a good afternoon, folks, and see you again next month.